Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day. As always, a free way to support the channel is by leaving a thumbs up, by leaving a comment, or by subscribing if you have not already done so. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. At the moment, the news of the news is that Bitcoin has finally, it's been about 13,000 years, has moved past 40,000 US dollars once again. For those of you not looking at the screen, it says Bitcoin surges past 40K with high exchange outflows, $50,000 next in sight. There are a lot of good metrics for Bitcoin. The metrics haven't even gone down. It's not even as if the last week or so have, we've seen like, oh gosh, the metrics are so bad for Bitcoin. Everything's been pretty good. Even when we got the news that, what's its name country was turning off or telling people to stop mining Bitcoin, but even a lot of those just simply moved to the country next to them. So as it stands right now, Bitcoin's price is currently above $40,000. I think on some exchanges, I think it hit 41,000. I think there was like a $40,800 that we ended up hitting. Of course, as we got too close to it, we started moving back down a tiny bit, but we are, at least at the time of me making this video, on our way back up. It says Cardano price analysis. Cardano price ready to challenge the $1.60 mark. It seems all but believable at this point as Bitcoin goes up by 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10% that other coins will completely follow suit. It says Ethereum gearing for another lift off to $2,800. Rally isn't over yet. The rally never really stopped. We were simply in a re-accumulation period where whales had moved prices down enough because, I mean, even in this video, of course, it happens every single day. We keep getting news of new institutions who are getting into the cryptocurrency space. It seems foolish to think that they would not in some way work together to lower prices so that they could re-enter or get into the market in the first place at a much lower price that is better for their wallets. Ethereum prepares for the ultimate swing past $3,000. And this one says Bitcoin signaling upside continuation, why Bitcoin could rally further. It just seems all but logical at this point. And as always, what's his face is also, of course, back in the news. It says $288,000 Bitcoin is still in play. This was said by Plan B. Whenever we get in any type of a move in the market, Plan B, I don't even think he's really like saying these things all the time. I think people are just kind of like asking him like, is everything okay? Like, okay, 288 is still there. Thank the goodness. What's his name as well? I don't have it in this video. I think it was Willy Woo, who also said something like 8 hours ago where he was like, yeah, we're still going to hit 200,000 something or other dollars for Bitcoin. I think that's his this year prediction, as many people are anticipating another leg up in prices when this rally kind of, continues. So that's all the price news. It's basically kind of mimicking each other. It's a lot of like Bitcoin's going up, therefore altcoins will also be going up, which I always find quite funny because it's like, well, we know that Bitcoin's going up, so logically the other coins will also be going up as well. Anyway, that's all that news, and let's move on. Now, here's one of the things being attributed to the rise in Bitcoin's price. MicroStrategy is going to buy another $500 million, worth of Bitcoin. MicroStrategy, the company spearheaded by one of Bitcoin's most vocal proponents, Michael Saylor, has completed yet another senior secured note offering to buy more Bitcoin. The news that we had, it was about no more than a week ago at this point, that they were going to offer a type of a debt purchase bond senior note convertible, whatever it's called, for I think $400 million. The day later, I think they received $1.6 billion worth of interest in it, but apparently they're only doing it for $500 million at this time. This is, of course, absolutely insane that any company would do this, but it seems that MicroStrategy is always buying, and I don't mean that in like a joking way. It's like they are always consistently buying all the time. And there are rumors floating around about already their next purchase. This one says MicroStrategy could hold more than $4 billion in Bitcoin after latest private offering and crypto purchase, the company could soon hold more than 100,000 Bitcoin. I'm pretty sure that that's their goal. I would assume the goal is actually 1 million, but I'm pretty sure that the 100K is incredibly significant, especially for any one given company on the planet. So this is actually being one of the given as a reason for the main catalyst. I'm seeing a major move away, and I know that people tell me that I'm giving Muskie too much energy. It's more like he's in the news. I report the news. I tell you what's happening in the cryptocurrency space. So it's not that I'm trying to give him more of myself. It's just more of a like, he's there. He's constantly in the news. When we rose in price, what was it, 2 days ago? He was seen as the most likely reason as to why we rose in price when he gave the tweet and yada, yada, yada. But apparently now I see nothing in the line of his name anywhere. The move up in price and the rise above 40,000 and the subsequent rise to 41,000 is now being attributed to MicroStrategy. Listen, $500 million has to do something to the price. I find it really weird, and I just assume it has to do with when people hear, people react kind of thing, like just in that one moment. We know that Bitcoin's doing well. We know that institutions are buying all the time. I think maybe it's because it's not the same institutions that we're hearing about buying on a consistent basis. Like, these companies are only there when they buy, they do like the one initial purchase, and then they make sure to announce, hey, we're also into the Bitcoin space. But they're also still buying. Like, they haven't stopped buying, but for some reason, things that really get people riled up and happy are like, when you understand what I'm saying? Like, we know that PayPal's still buying. It's probably quite clear that Coinbase is also still accumulating. Same exact thing with other major stock exchanges, not just the New York Stock Exchange and the NASDAQ. Other stock exchanges announced in 2018 and 2019 that they were also into the cryptocurrency space. So we know that they're still buying on a daily basis, but that doesn't, it's like people lose faith 18 hours after they've heard some like really mega news. Anyway, so that's the MicroStrategy news. I think that is yeah. And also segueing into that as well as one of the other reasons why people are saying that the price of Bitcoin is rising. It says on Monday, the Bitcoin price broke above $40,000 for the first time since the 27th of May, after legendary billionaire macro investor Paul Tudor Jones II, aka PTJ. Do people call him that? Said in an interview that he likes Bitcoin as a portfolio diversifier. Paul Tudor Jones, who is the founder and chief investment officer of asset management firm Tudor Investment Corporation, also known as Tudor, made his comments about Bitcoin during an interview with Alex Ross Sorkin on CNBC's Squawk Box. He said, now listen, I love reading people's quotes because sometimes they're just fantastic. So excuse me in advance if I chuckle, because I read through this and you'll see. He said, and I quote, "I like Bitcoin. Bitcoin is math. And math has been around for thousands of years. It's actually been around since the beginning of forever because it's math. It's just that humans discovered it about a good 15, 20,000. And 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. And it will be for the next 2,000 years. I'm pretty sure that 2 plus 2 will always equal 4 and not for the next 2,000 years. So, sorry. See, I told you in advance. He said, so I like the idea of investing in something that's reliable, consistent, honest, and 100% certain. So Bitcoin has appealed to me because it's a way for me to invest in certainly. I assume that's supposed to be certainty. He said, I like Bitcoin as a portfolio diversifier. Everyone's always asking, what should I do with my portfolio? The only thing I know for sure is I have 5% in gold, 5% in Bitcoin, 5% in cash, 5% in commodities, and at this point in time, I don't know what I would do with the other 80%. Invest it? I want to wait and see what the Fed is going to do, because they will have a big impact. For me, it's just a kind of foundationally, okay, I don't have to read anymore because the sentence is kind of all over the place. The point is, I thought it was funny that he was like, Bitcoin is math. 2 plus 2 is 4. The sky is blue. Water is sometimes wet. And I chuckled to myself. So yeah, not joking. The additional rise in price is also being attributed to that sentence, or that Paul Tudor Jones has reaffirmed that he is into crypto. Paul Tudor Jones has been into crypto, I assume, assumption, since around 2014, 15, 16. We got news in 2019. I think he's been in this space for about a year at that point, so we would say 2018. But I don't really. It's not that I don't believe these people. It's more so every single person. I don't think Paul Tudor Jones was ever a whatever. The point is, every single person who hated our space at some point announced that they've been in our space for about a good 6-7 years. So I just assume he was doing the exact same thing while he was accumulating, trying to lower prices. The other point is that he announced a 5% allocation of his portfolio into Bitcoin. Typically, I'm pretty sure you've heard this before, whenever there is like a mega rich, super blah, blah, blah investor on TV, they usually announce the 1% allocation of their portfolio into investment. Maybe 3% if it's like, wow, that's a really good. So a 5% allocation is like, oh my gosh, he really believes in Bitcoin. And then also announcing that should there be more terrible, which there will be, economic policies from money makers, like literal money makers, that he would increase it even more. So everyone's like, what? Paul Tudor Jones money? Can't believe it. So yeah, the news is that another rich person is into crypto, has been into crypto for a while. Once again, keeping in mind, I'm pretty certain Paul Tudor Jones has at least, I would say, like 15 friends. Just going to throw that number out there. We can assume that if Paul Tudor Jones is putting hundreds of millions of dollars into Bitcoin, his friends are probably doing the same. So, just dig a little deeper every single time. We always get news that this one company is doing so-and-so, or this one person is doing it. And I'm like, you know that they're not the only person in their friends group who's also buying. So we can also assume that his friends are at least allocating 1% of their portfolio into this new cat-fangled cryptocurrency market thing that everybody's talking about. Anyway, that's the Paul Tudor Jones news. It says Bitcoin surges past 40K as Paul Tudor Jones wants 5% portfolio allocation to Bitcoin. Did we need to hear 2 + 2 is 4 to understand that Bitcoin was a good investment? Do we need rich people to always stand on stage to tell us that Bitcoin is good before other people buy it? I don't know. It's seeming that way. Anyway, thanks, Paul Tudor Jones, for your allocation to make money. Let's move on. Next up, the president of the Central Bank for Economic Integration told a press conference that the region's most prominent multilateral bank will assist El Salvador in establishing Bitcoin as a legal tender in the country. Dante Masi told reporters that the development bank will establish a technical team to assist the government of El Salvador. In a message to, I'm going to stop saying it that way. In a message to the president of El Salvador and his government, Masi said, "We feel very proud that your government's first choice is soliciting help and support with the implementation in the South Central. There's no other country that has adopted Bitcoin as widely as El Salvador," said Masi. "This is a challenge that must be taken head on in order to find the best way to protect the user." So this is kind of a 1-2 step, if you will. I didn't report on the news. This was about a day or two ago. After El Salvador made or wrote the bill into law that Bitcoin is now legal tender within the country, they were, of course, and it's always the same people, like, just please go outside and get some air. I'm not sure if you just haven't walked outside the entire last 16, 17 months, but please, the air's fresh. The grass is still green. A lot of people were talking about, well, this is going to be impossible to implement. You can't simply just add a system like that. Where are people going to get the Bitcoin from? And it was just really like, and I'm like, what do you, give them a chance. They're the first country to do so. Like, allow them to be like, okay, let's, try and do some things afterwards. So what happened was basically a lot of people were making fun of them. You don't have the infrastructure. There's no way you can implement this. How do you make sure that you're doing this? What about pension funds, or what about so-and-so? So the president of the Central American Bank for Economic Integration basically came forward and was like, we will help you. We'll figure out a way to do this. We'll make sure that you get the infrastructure. And, it's always nice to help people as opposed to making fun of them. If you're walking down the street and you see someone fall and trip, they didn't mean to fall and trip to make you laugh. I'm pretty sure they're hurt. Help them up. Try and help them along their way because, they're also human. So anyway, the point is, this is good news. This is great. I love stuff like this. I still think that the countries who adopt Bitcoin first are going to be the richest on the planet, and everybody else who basically made fun of them is going to have tripped, and no one's going to help them up. Anyway, that's the El Salvador news. Let's move on. Also in mega popular, super ultra insane news, Coinbase has announced that it will list Polkadot, the native cryptocurrency of Parity Technologies' Polkadot blockchain. Yay! Coinbase users will allow users to deposit DOT beginning on Monday, the 14th of June. Then it will allow trading at 9 a.m. Pacific time on Wednesday, the 16th of June, if the exchange has significant liquidity. Basically meaning if enough people are trading it, then they'll kind of give it the go. Users will be able to trade DOT for various fiat currencies, the US dollar, the euro, and the Great British Pound, and against Bitcoin and USDT is Tether, I believe, because there's USDT and there's also TUSD, which I find really annoying. DOT will then be listed on Coinbase's retail trading application, Normal Coinbase, at a later date that is still unspecified. It's normally a week or two. I think the shortest we've ever seen was a week. It's basically if there's enough usage or people are trading enough Polkadot on their pro platform, then it gets added onto the normal platform. I don't know why they always say unspecified time. It's always the same. It's either 1 or 2 weeks. I don't think it's ever been like more than a month ever. So the news is, yeah, Coinbase is adding Polkadot. I think Polkadot's price went up by 14% on the news that this was happening. Sure, why not? It even says it around here. It says Coinbase did not explain why it chose to list DOT money. That's always the answer in this space. Coinbase, especially not Coinbase, is not listing something that they don't already have their hand inside the cookie jar of. That didn't sound correct, but you understand what I'm trying to say. I believe that a lot of these coins have, my personal opinion, have gotten the backing of very large investment teams over the course of the last couple of years. Polkadot being one of them, Tether also being one of them. What's the other one? There was another one from like a couple years ago that everyone thought was going to be this like super mega crazy coin. Tezos is definitely one of them as well. I think a lot of these, not to say that Polkadot is a crypto exchange coin. I don't think that it is. But I think a lot of the funding for these projects came from crypto exchanges and other larger investors. So they probably hold a huge amount of the coins themselves. And therefore, to continue filling their pockets, they list it onto the exchange so that the liquidity can go up and therefore the price can go up and yada, 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 yada. So cool. They're listing Polkadot. And you can Polkadot yourself on Coinbase because it's there. That was cringy. All right, let's move on. Here's a really cool one. Ethereum has reached a new milestone with over 25% of all Ether is now locked inside of smart contracts, a notable increase over the 15% during last year. As pointed out by ETH Hub founder Anthony Sassano, the current Ether supply percentage under smart contracts is similar to what it was during the DAO event. The DAO event in 2016. He said the amount of ETH in smart contracts is now similar to what it was during the DAO. That's what I just said. Sassano noted that the percentage of Ether in smart contracts back in 2016 was around 23% since the coin was worth Since Ethereum was worth $13 then, the supply under smart contracts was worth around $230 million. The same amount is worth around $63 billion today. In 2016, there was something called a DAO that was really popular. Like DAO was kind of the ICO before we had ICO. That was kind of the word of the years. You know how like this year we have DeFi, and before that it was ICO and STO. Before that it was DAO. It was I think decentralized autonomized organization. I think that was what it was. It was kind of like the DeFi before DeFi, where basically you could just think of DeFi, but like 5 years ago, kind of. However, this one major DAO had a hack, and everyone completely panicked because people thought that Ethereum was hacked, and therefore there was something wrong with the protocol, and therefore everyone kind of, you can see the drop right here. Everyone completely lost their minds. The news to be taken is that 25%, one in every 4 Ether, is now locked inside of a smart contract. And I think this is only going to aid in the propelling of the price higher as we sluggishly move into Ethereum 2.0 and people start locking up their coins to be able to stake Ethereum, and we start getting more DeFi and more smart contracts and more of these other things as we get higher transactions. Very, very, very interesting. Everything seems to be leading up to this perfect storm kind of event where Ethereum's price should be going over $10,000. If we hit 5,000 or 6,000, I'm pretty sure we hit 5,000 or 6,000. I'm not going crazy, right? I don't remember. 5,000 or 6,000 before for Ethereum's price. Logically, once we have deflation on the network, we should see a very healthy price boost. But 1 in every 4 coins locked inside of the network is insane. So anyway, that's the Ethereum news. Let's move on. Like that kind of news should actually be moving the markets and not anyway. Let's move on. Next up, Goldman Sachs digital asset head Matthew McDermott said in an interview with Bloomberg that the bank is planning on launching an Ethers futures, an options trading platform for clients in the near future. And I assume they're doing this once again because we are very close to the upgrade. The report said that this move is part of the bank's restart to restart its crypto services with McDermott at the helm. McDermott said Goldman is planning on offering exchange-traded notes tracking the price of Bitcoin as well as other digital assets. Even though the crypto market is somewhat resembling a bear market, it's not at all. It's just normal crypto year. McDermott told Bloomberg that this hasn't deterred client interest. He said, "We've actually seen a lot of interest from clients who are eager to trade as they find these levels as slightly more palatable as an entry point. We see it as a cleansing experience, wow, to reduce some of the leverage and the excess in the system, especially from a retail perspective." Who got that? Who understood that sentence? Did you get it? We see it as a cleansing experience to remove some of the leverage and excess in the system, especially from retail. Retail is us. Retail is normal people. It's cleansing to them to see that the excess in the system is gone. Remember, we were talking about, always, and they say it explicitly. You have to understand. Years and years ago, I remember when I got into the finance space. This was, 2010, 2011. I was just learning how to crawl. And one of the major things that deterred me from the stock bond mutual fund market was this idea of when you turn on financial news. You've done it before, even before you got into crypto. You turned on financial news and you sat there and you were like, what? Secura what? Who did it? What's it? What is it? You don't understand exactly what's happening. It's almost like it is its own language. There's a reason why they say securities and commodities and all these other things, so that you really don't understand. They talk. Anyway, the point is the language is there. I learned to deter normal people from entering the market. If you find out that you have to learn about 45 different phrases and you have to learn what an SEC is and a CFTC is and what a commodity is and what a security is and what not really Bretton Woods so much, but you understand what I'm saying? It pushes you back. So a lot of times when the wealthiest people say things out loud, they say it in rich, if that makes any sense. If a normal, imagine yourself 5 years ago reading an article like this, and you heard that one of the largest banks on the planet was looking to get into Ether options. You'd be like, they like options? What does an options do? And you read this sentence talking about a cleansing exercise to reduce retail. You'd be like, oh yeah, retail therapy is kind of fun because I also like going shopping. They say it explicitly. But anyway, so the point is, remember a couple of days ago, and every single time that the crypto market dips, we always get news that whales, institutions, family companies were buying during the dip. And every single time, an enormous amount of retail investors, everyday normal people, sell off their coins because they're terrified when they see the market dropping. These people are in the market for the long run. They're in it, legitimately for the next 20, 30, 40, 50 years, if not plus more. So anyway, I'm going to get off this topic, but you understand what I'm saying. I just thought I'd show you that sentence because this is what they do. Remember during GameStop, where they were yelling at the screen that poor people should not be in the market, that we need more regulation to stop retail investors from being able to do whatever they want? They want all the money. They're accumulating all the Bitcoin. So anyway, let's move on. And to finish things off, recently, Yoni Assia, co-founder and CEO of Etoro, talked about the future of crypto. The Etoro CEO's comments were made during a conversation he had with a journalist, Rachel Wolfson, who was reporting from Cointelegraph at Bitcoin's Miami 2021 conference, which was a dumpster fire. Asia said, when we think about the future, Etoro firmly believes in the combination and connection between crypto assets and equities. The majority of our clients trade both cryptocurrencies as well as stocks on the platform. So I think there's definitely a trend continuing in the future. I think a lot of people will start to manage their investments in one account. We're also big believers in the future of blockchain technology, obviously, for the back end of finance, and that's going to take a while. I believe that all financial assets are eventually going to be transformed into blockchain in one form or another. So we're going to see a transfer of over $100 trillion over the next 10 years into native digital assets. I thought that was kind of the most important part. Even funnier, the website here missed a zero when it says a transfer of over $10 trillion. Our market was near $2 trillion just with everyday normal, give or take, average people throwing their money into the market. It is widely expected. Even years ago, I heard this and the number didn't really make a lot of sense. It's expected that we're going to have over $100 trillion in our market over the next couple of years, like the actual next couple of years. I'm not talking about a good 30, 40, 50 years down the line. It's like our market will continue growing so rapidly as people and countries continue to adopt Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. So just keep that in mind. Like everything that's taking place, every single thing is because rich people are expecting the market to last for a very long time. And I just hope in some sort of way that everyone is along for that ride, because imagine even simply just being able to like 100x what you have. This is what they're planning on. Let's move on. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters, Professor Wally from Gunbot University, Roman Geba. Yes, Geba. Roman Geba. Hello. Thank you for anyway, nothing. Bitcoin Ben. No, like, because some people sometimes will message me on Patreon, and this is getting really awkward. Bitcoin Ben, Arachno Dave, Tony Ambroski, The Dealer's Den, Red Plump Tomato, Umnu, Wish Nikki, The Letter M, Stephen Dirks, Not Brain, Captain Something in the Z-Way Lay, Crypto Black Sheep, AJ Cut 5, Speedy 655, and Carlos Was Like, Mobarazi, Jojo Shaw Show, VB Nerd 21, Miguel Grolet, Lauren De Silva, Quoted Biddy, Barebones Mining, Troy Allgood, Quoted Biddy, Troy Allgood, Space Case, Need a Miracle, Pattern Nostr, Conan Don't Skip Leg Day, Snacky Chan, Tolek Banan, Auspicious Agile, and Blockchain Navarro Williams, David James, Attila the Han, Yasha Harari, Utopia 569, Moonman High, XRP, Martin Stoyo, Nostromo, John Sarson, The Animal Reader, Bibliophobia, Todd Mullis, Adam Grasick, Moha Maroni, Master Ventures in Thailand, Jared Schneider, Wise Night Owl, 242 to the World, Bankroll Network, Crypto Artist, Cole D3D, Damien, Setsuna, Richie Rich III, Vlad the Impaler, Paxis, Nick Mangialavodi, Jim Gardner, Jeremy Fox, Minting Coins, Miller His Chest Every Day, and Kyle Skips Leg Day. Yes to Crypto, Bodie McBoatface, Anytime Fitness, Moss Corner Staff, Bake Me a Cake, Tigger Machonisa, All Crypto with Lionel, Crayola Michelle, URL, and Bolero Bastos. Thank you all incredibly much for all of your support. Thank you to everyone who is a member of the channel. Thank you to everyone who is a clicker of affiliate links. Thank you to everyone who is or has supported in their own way possible. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. At the momento, Bitcoin is currently at 40,230 US dollars. There's those really weird, wacky movements we were talking about. The cryptocurrency market is all over the place. It's actually kind of weird to see Bitcoin below a $1 trillion market cap. Like it almost looks odd, like it shouldn't be, if that makes any sense. Ethereum is up by 4%. Binance Coin is up by 3.5%. Cardano is up by 3%. Polkadot is still up by 14 percentile points. Uniswap is up by 5%. Chainlink is up by 10%. Polygon Matic is up by 13%. Anything else really crazy? EOS is up by 5%. Monero is up by 5%. Pancakes are up by... Okay, good job, Pancakes. Up by 5%. Clay is up by 19%. Oh, just got passed. AMP also... These coins, man. And I dare not even say I have no idea what AMP is, because I know there's going to be like, bro, you don't know AMP? No, I doth not know AMP. I do apologize. It's up by 21%. Cosmos is up by 5%. Shiba Inu is up by 3%. SafeMoon is up by 14%. Lunacoin is up by 7%. And Leo Unis said Leo is down by 14%. I didn't even know. Anyway, I do hope you all enjoyed. I do hope you all are having a great day. It's something in my eye. Whoa. Great day, great morning, great afternoon, great evening, wherever you are. I pictured myself like freaking out and like knocking over the microphone, and I was like, no, keep it cool. Keep it cool. Just like slightly blink one side. Hope you all have a great day, great morning, great afternoon, great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope that it is absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching and or listening and or supporting, and I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.